finally time to meet today's guest, a true Hollywood acting legend who has dazzled us in films including Sense and Sensibility, Love Actually and Nanny McPhee. No doubt dazzling us again today. Please welcome Emma Thompson.
Listening to you chatting around, just thinking, aren't we lucky to have you on telly and this chat, this sort of talk going on, and the honesty and the warmth.
I think we're lucky that we have the opportunities. There's a lot of, you know,
yeah,
for all our whingings, all the countries you can't sit and have the, at our age.
There's that also, yes, absolutely.
I've just realised you've got lipstick on your shoulder.
Yeah, that was me.
Lipstick on my shoulder.
Can we talk about that to kiss a skin?
Yeah.
Trying to eat the fruit.
You know, well, anyway, it pertains to our discussion today.
Yes.
But one of my earrings is a radish.
Yes.
And the other one is
vegetable.
a carrot.
Oh,
Funny that.
Yes.
Yeah.
Funny that.
Yes.
And that's because you've well, explain the box that's in front of you, and then this will all make sense.
Oh, all right. Well, so 2 years ago, I was in Scotland with my family, and I got a little. This was wrapped in brown paper with string, and inside there was a half-eaten radish and a letter from Peter Rabbit saying, "Would you? I've heard you're quite naughty, like me. I'm 110. I hear you're slightly younger, and I wonder if you'd write me another story." And I just was so. It was so touching. Yeah. And the look.
This is the actual thing. Look at that.
Oh, no,
It's his jacket.
Look at that. How can you say no?
How could I say no? Even though
Isn't
you
he
thought...
little, the real Peter Rabbit?
Yes, it's quite a small rabbit, isn't it? It's a miniature rabbit. Anyway, I just said, of course, I'll give it a go.
Yeah.
But, you know, if I'd received a formal letter from Warren, from the publisher, saying, would you follow in the footsteps of one of our country's greatest geniuses, Beatrix Potter, I would have said, don't be ridiculous, I can't do that.
Yes.
But because
Well, Peter Rabbit asks you.
Powers of persuasion.
Yes.
But have you ever written a book before?
Well, sort of. I've written a version of Nanny McPhee, the second Nanny McPhee I made into a book, which is also it's the story of the film and also the diary of the film, because I always keep diaries. So that's quite interesting, because kids can read the story, but then they can also read about that bit of the story being filmed on that day. So it's a kind of combination thing. I don't think of myself as an author in that sense at all.
This Peter Rabbit, your story, is the 24th story, is that right?
Yes, and he's 110 now, and this is the first time he's had a new story.
Did you grow up reading the books or having them read to you?
Oh, yes, yes.
So you love him?
I mean, I think I was very lucky because my dad wrote The Magic Roundabout. He was responsible for Dougal and yes. So that wonderful mellifluous voice that he had. But of course, you know, he wanted to read A Fierce Bad Rabbit, because you know there's only about 2 words on each page.
Yeah.
And we wanted The Tale of Mr. Todd, which is about as long as the Satanic Verses. You know, it's a long, it's a big, for bedtime story terms, it's 40 minutes.
As a parent, I know what that's like. You want short chapters, get to the
and you
point.
cut it, don't you? As you go, anyway, I'll just cut down to that bit. And then my daughter, a couple of years in, said, "You've missed out the part about the bones." I'm like, oh my God, I can't get away with it anymore. I can't get away with cutting it.
Yeah.
But she's such an extraordinary writer, Potter.
Do you not take Peter to Scotland? Have you taken him on a trip to
have,
Scotland?
I have.
Why is that?
Because when they asked me, I was in Scotland, and Beatrix, I started reading about her first. What an extraordinary woman.
Yes.
I mean, she was... You know, she was an expert botanist. She was a mycologist, an expert in fungi. She had all these animals, and what was so interesting about her, she was completely unsentimental about them. She had her rabbits, she named them, she got to know them, she looked after them, and then she boiled them. When they were dead, she boiled them, and she took the bones and examined the bones and drew them all. She was a scientist, but because she was born in that...
With Renée Zellweger, of her life story, which was fascinating, how Frederick Warne, the publisher...
Yes.
Sort of nurtured her, didn't he?
And you know, helped her with these little books. I mean,
well, you say little books.
That one's big, yes, but it will. In the end, it'll be little. It'll be the normal size.
Could you read us a wee bit?
Yes,
that would be really great if you could.
Oh, this is brilliant.
I know. Settle down, everyone. Are you comfortable?
Shall I read a bit with Scottish in it?
Oh, go on, then.
He does go to Scotland.
Is it in the present day, or have you kept it kind of timeless?
I've kept it timeless, and because her language had such a huge influence on me when I was little, you know, the fact that she used long words like soporific, you know, and my father, writing the Magic Roundabout,
means boring, Jane.
Oh, thank you, Anne.
Makes you go to sleep.
Sleeping
Makes you sleepy, yeah. It doesn't necessarily mean boring.
Well, it makes
Dad used the
sleepy.
word mollusk in one of his Magic Roundabouts and got letters of complaint from parents saying, how can you use phrases like hoist with your own petard? You know, because they said children don't understand that, but children understand things instinctively or in context, or they ask someone and then they use the word for the next 3 weeks. You know, that's what's so
try and get
thrilling.
soporific into the dinner table conversation tonight with mine too. Yeah, they're 10 and 5. This could be interesting.
Perfect. All right, so he goes to Scotland and here he is. And it's a bit of a... I mean, he doesn't expect... It's an accident because he's been stealing as usual.
From Mr. McGregor's garden?
Well, sort of, yes. Yeah. So, he ran until he could run no more. Panting at the foot of a tall pine tree, he looked about. A stream ran clear over mossy grey stones, harebells bobbing at the rim. The call of a buzzard made him look up in fright to see high purple hills. Peter, who had a sore paw from running, limped out and stared. He had left his shoes in the sandwich basket. "Aye," said a deep voice, "no matter where we've been or where we're going, 'tis the hills draw us back." Peter turned to see a huge black rabbit in a kilt, a dagger thrust into the top of his laced-up boot. "You'll be Peter Rabbit," said the giant. Peter nodded. "Finlay McBurney at your service. News of your disappearance came up with the mail coach. Your mother's fit to be tied. Follow me."
Can we talk about the illustrations? Because the most beautiful watercolour paintings, aren't they?
Eleanor Taylor, our illustrator, is so extraordinary. Let's find one that you can... This is Peter getting into a gigantic radish.
Yeah, well, I think we saw them as you were
did you?
Yeah. Did, but I just
okay.
wanted to get her a mention. She's amazing, isn't she?
No, she's extraordinary because she has... I suppose, like me, we were both in the same boat. We were thinking, God, follow Beatrix Potter. She's a genius. But we can take the influence and the sort of feel of her. And Eleanor's Peter is slightly different to Beatrix Potter's, but still has this kind of curious, naughty flavour. He's just so touching.
But Emma, can I ask you, because obviously, you know, you talk about the pressure of following from Beatrice Potter. You followed Jane Austen, because obviously you rewrote I
nicked her story.
You nicked her story, basically. Thank you for saying that. So I was going to say, you've been here like before, Emma Thompson. This is not like it's anything new. No, so obviously you'd already put yourself under pressure doing that. Did you enjoy rewriting Sense and Sensibility for the screen?
Adapting is great. I did enjoy it very much. I mean, it's full of jeopardy. You know, I can remember saying to a woman in a plane where she was so excited. She said, "Oh, it's marvellous, and I hope you've kept Jane. She's just a marvellous character." I said, "No, I've cut Jane," and she literally just turned away. She walked away from me. She didn't even say anything. She just literally stopped talking to me and walked away. So you can end up offending people dreadfully.
Yeah, you should never get rid of Jane.
Never.
Exactly. Never get rid of you,
let's have a wee
darling.
look at you in action as well. Here we go. The scene that we just watched there was you and a really young Kate Winslet.
She was 19.
Was she? Was that one of her first major roles?
Yes, I remember her standing in the corridor. She was the last late girl to come and see us that day, and I ran past her. I said, "Oh, sorry, I've just got to go and pee," and it sort of relaxed her, you know, because she was scared. We've been like sisters ever since.
Did she win an award for that as well? Did she?
God, I can't remember.
Oh, I thought she did.
Did she win the BAFTA?
think something.
I think she did. She did. She won the BAFTA.
You also
she did.
You were having a wee bit of moment in that film. You're playing someone that's quite buttoned up and quite uptight. Is that quite good fun for you? Because you seem so incredibly down to earth, a very relaxed lady. Is that quite nice to play a period drama where you are buttoned up?
It's not the phrase that's usually used to describe me. No. It's true. Yeah, mostly unbuttoned. Well, yes, but you were talking earlier about typecasting and actors being typecast, and it's true that at some point in the 90s, my mum said to me, "You're not going to play another good woman in a frock, are you?" And I said, "Yeah, that's quite a good point, actually. Yes, frock and a bonnet." And a corset roles, I did for a while. And then last year, I had a very funny... I said to my agent, my daughter's 12, I can go back to doing some acting. I can go out the house a bit more. Yeah. And so I said to my agent, is there anything out there? And he said, yes, we've had 3 job offers in for you. Bradley Cooper's mother. I said... Surely, yeah.
Mother?
Hang on.
Not mother.
Then a large 60-year-old in a wheelchair. I did nothing wrong with the wheelchair. She had to be very large and 60. And Mother Teresa.
Oh.
So I thought, I've got a feeling I may have been typecast in people's minds as Nanny McPhee. Oh. So I better get out there and do something different. So this year I've...
Well, speaking of Nanny McPhee, you've done all sorts of different characters, which is what you're well known for. All these amazing characters that you take on. Which are you most proud of?
Well, I love Nanny McPhee. Because doing something for children, I think, is the toughest, and I think it's the thing that you have to take most seriously, because when they're little, when we are little, what we take in is so important. You know, people are doing things for children. You have to make it the best you can make it. You have to make it as brilliant as you can make it, and as profoundly truthful and emotionally truthful as you can make it, because they will take it in, and they see through rubbish.
Because I have to say, both the Nanny McPhee films are on all the time in our house, because it's my kids are absolutely within that age bracket, and they love it. They love the horrible comeuppance of the nasty people, and I love the fact that a mole disappears every time they learn another lesson, and they get all that. It's across the levels, actually. Parents can enjoy it, and at the same time kids get something from it.
Well, that's what we wanted. And, you know, you think about Beatrix Potter, we all love her too. Yeah. It's not... You know, when your children say, will you read a Beatrix Potter, you go, yes,
as
I'm
opposed
fine
to
with
some
that.
of the others.
Whereas some of the others, my mother did not want to read me Noddy and Big Ears.
Well, you're going to be staying with us, if you don't mind, because we're not through with you just yet.
OK.
If you don't mind.
No, it's fine.
Because we've got loads we want to probe you about.
Probe away.
Yes. We're going to unbutton you further, if you don't mind. So, as I say, Emma's going to be staying with us for now. But if you win our competition, you could boost your bank balance by £25,000. If you want to be a winner, take a look at this question.